Hey you guys, so I promised a couple people I'd post a video on how I hung my gray water tanks under my Skoolie, and hopefully I can do this laying on my back. Um, we're using, see if I can get back a little bit more. No, this way, no, that's all the way out. Okay, I'm using 30-gallon plastic barrels, a couple of them. They were a pain in the butt to hang. But I got them for only 10 bucks a piece, so I guess that makes it worthwhile. Anyhow, I started, get my pointer here, by mounting, where am I? Unistrut to the bottom of the bus. And each one bolt goes through a rib here in the floor, through the floor, and into the top. And where is my pointer? There we go. Each piece of unistrut is 28 inches long up there and has, come on camera, focus, oh, there we go, and each one has 5 bolts that go through the floor, and those are grade 8 bolts. They're stronger than standard bolts. I really like them because I've actually tightened nuts down so hard by hand that I've snapped the bolt off with regular bolts. And then, let's see, I've got them here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so up there in the unistrut, they have things they call spring nuts, okay, that go up and clip in. I'm using a thinner profile of unistrut so that I got the tanks higher up off the ground. You know, every inch counts. And the spring, there's not enough room for the spring. So I'm having to take them off, or I did, and just use the nut portion. But it clips up in there. The only difference is you have to hold it in there with a pair of pliers while you get the threaded rod screwed up into it. And then I have a, as you can see, big flat washer, a lock washer, and a nut securing them nice and tightly. And then you come down here and there's nuts and washers on the top of both of these. But these are straps, and I've had several people ask me how I made the strap, or where I got the straps. And I made them out of 2-inch by 1/8 inch steel. I call it bar stock. But I had to cut each one, drill a 5/8 hole in it. This is a 1/2 inch all thread. Bend them into shape. It was a real pain in the behind. Yeah, that's it, behind. And so the all thread comes down, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna cut pieces of unistrut. See if I can get this on here for you, and put them on the bottom, okay, with a nylock nut and big washer and everything, just to give the straps a little help. The tanks are full right now. I filled them with a garden hose to check for leaks. I have one leak, just a little tiny drip. See if we can catch a drip coming off of there. Almost, come on. Right that much. Get my old behind up. But it's coming out of that threaded bung back there. Oh, I'll drain the tanks and get that out of there and put some Teflon on it. I was a little concerned because getting the tanks lined up was a real challenge, and my pipe isn't exactly straight, but it doesn't leak. And I'm using at Black Deal, those are called Uniseals. You can Google that up, but they make a good fitting to put pipe into barrels like this. Up there is a 1/2-inch line, that's for venting, and then this is the filling valve. I had somebody, it was yesterday or the day before, had a big fit, told me you can't fill tanks unless, you know, your fill line. Here, I'm going to backtrack on you a little bit here. By the way, I've got this piece here to help from swaying, and they're up there pretty good. They're full right now, and they haven't fallen on the ground. I think when the tanks are half full, it will be even worse. I've lined these with rubber, by the way. I've had people give me crap over that. I think when the tanks are half full and you're bouncing down the road, that water's going to slam down and put a lot more stress on the mounting than there is right now. But we'll see how it works. They're up there pretty good. And we'll get this other unistrut on across the bottom of each set of all thread. That'll help. Anyhow, let me come over here to the other side. I'm old. Okay, so I've got this one coming out of there, and that one goes up, and it's going to go through the floor. You can see the vent up there, the little vent line. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So that's going to elbow over and come through the side of the bus and go up. I think it needs to be higher than the kitchen sink, which is the highest drain point that we've got inside. And I put this valve here so that I can fill 5-gallon buckets and cart water away. And I've got, this is actually just a regular clean out. There's a valve here, and where did I put those channel locks that I had? Hold on, you guys. Okay, I found them. Alright, so there's a valve here, 1.5-inch ball valve, and I made this bracket to help hold the end of the pipe and sturdy it up. I think if I hit something pretty hard with the bus, it's going to rip it right off, but we'll have to be careful. I've got the valve closed right now, but I did open it before to check for leaks in these fittings. So there's going to be a little water in this clean out, in this little section of pipe. But the idea is I can take this plug off, screw another fitting in, and then connect a hose to it. I think we're going to use, like a vacuum cleaner hose. A swimming pool vacuum hose is what I'm looking for. And I think I can buy those on Amazon pretty cheap, if I remember right. And that way we can have a hose to go to dump stations. Alright, so let's take this off. See that sweat bee? I don't know if you're from, there he is. Right there. If you're from the West, you don't know what those are, but they're a pain in the butt. I really hate those old bastards. Okay, so we're going to take this plug out. We've got some Teflon paste on it, so it should come out pretty easy. Here's that little bit of water I told you about. So, all I have to do is put a fitting in here, connect the hose to that, and open the valve. I don't want to be right in front of when I open it. tanks are 60 gallons. There's, like I said, each piece, let me just shut it off for now. Each piece of that unistrut has 5 of these grade 8 bolts coming up through the floor, through the rib, and through the floor. Then there's a fender washer, a washer, and these are called nylock nuts. I like them because once you spin them on, they don't come back off. And there's 30 of them holding those 2 tanks. I don't know how much that means for each bolt. I'll calculate it and edit it back in to the video so you guys know. Anyhow, that's my gray water tanks. We've got a high pollen alert right now. The kitchen sink is going to be way over on the other side of the bus, and then the shower is going to be way back in the back. So I'll bring the lines through under the subfloor of the bus, down through the floor right here, and connect it to that line there. So they should drain pretty well. Alright, I'm kneeling in that water I just poured, so my knees are wet. I'm gonna go ahead and drain this, and I hope that helped and gave you guys maybe an idea or two about how to hang, at least how I hung gray water tanks under my bus. So, have a good one. We'll get through this.